it has been a minute. A lot of life has happened, a lot of games have been played, and some first wins have happened as well. I'm pretty excited to kind of dive into it.
Yeah,
we have Austin for the whole pod today. I'm pretty excited about that. How are you, Austin?
Not bad. Had to help bring the pod back after a couple of lackluster weeks there.
Yeah.
Yes.
My team has died as the pod has the last 2 weeks. Not saying there's any correlation. Actually, it's just been crazy. But yeah, it's not been fun. So some teams are dying and some teams showing life. Mark, showing some life.
Your team has showed some life. You're no longer Pickle Jr.
That is true. We got out of that just to get cursed by something else. But it's okay because Luke fell into my trap. And so that is my way back, is that the trap. But we're going to hop right into the power rankings here because that's just the way we start it, Everybody wants it. The group chat's already going crazy about it. They want it bad.
Yep.
So now we'll let Austin take over the screen.
Let me find the right one. All right, you guys able to see it yet or no?
Yep.
Okay. We are.
All right, so week 6 power rankings, a new loser has arisen. We finally do not have Mark or Vinny in the back of the power rankings here.
Oh, wow.
And the back of the power rankings this week is Steve. Trap is set. Who's next? It seems like Steve set the trap, and Steve's likely the one to fall into the trap here as well. I've been a believer of Steve's team kind of throughout here. I still think there's a lot of talent, but at some point you can't keep ranking them high just for potential alone. Team has been pretty garbage this year. I think last in points 4, 2 and 4. Just about time that you kind of found yourself here.
Yeah, it's a sad reality, but if the power rankings were ever a curse, I need them to be right now. Please. I need a win. I beat Josh, and that's the only thing I can hang my hat on.
Yeah, it's kind of like you beating Josh and Vinny beating Mark. It's like you won your Super Bowls, but that might be it for the year.
Next Super Bowl is not getting last, basically.
Next up, we have another newcomer to the back of the rankings here in running back community college. Power rankings are, again, it's helpful to note that these are not like what you would think about with rankings in like college football in terms of who the actual best team is. This takes a lot into consideration trends. And despite Paul's team having a really hot start, he's now lost 3 games in a row. He has essentially no playmakers on his team. Things don't seem to be getting better. He's starting, as we can see here, Kareem Hunt this week, which is just very unfortunate. I pity Paul's team because he's one of the ones that I feel like everyone actually kind of roots for, but it's just not happening this year.
Yeah, he turned in from having like one of the best teams, like to Justin Jefferson getting hurt, trading away receivers, and all of a sudden it's like, hopefully Keenan Allen's still good because I don't know what.
I mean, he literally started 3-0 and now he's 3-3.
Yeah. Poor Paul.
It's crazy because I don't know about you guys, but I can't point at a move or a certain player that other than JJ that has just died or he made a bad decision on. I think it's just been slow and gradual.
Yeah, and I think the running backs, I at least thought were going to be serviceable, but Mixon and Javonte have been unstartable, and so it's just like he only had his wide receivers, and yeah. Next up there, we have our beloved commissioner in Redhead Redemption here, slowly but surely crawling his way out of the back of the rankings. He's 2-4 now. He's won 2 weeks in a row. He started to put up slightly better numbers. Still don't love the team in general, but he does have CMC and Purdy kind of leading the charge there, which means that you can't really rule him out because those 2 players could go nuclear, but the rest of the roster still has a lot to be asked for there.
For some reason, we can't hear you, Steve. So you're gonna have to say what you're saying again. But I'll go real quick. It's kind of like his favorite team. He exercised its demons against his son. Notre Dame beat USC, and now we just have clear waters. So this is a team I'm actually afraid of right now.
Yeah. I still wouldn't be too afraid of them, but again, if it's a good week for the 49ers, it's going to be a good week for Vinny.
I think I'm back.
Yeah.
Am I back?
You are back. Yep.
Okay. Jeez. Yeah, I was just saying that much. I mean, he's climbing out of out of the pit of hell, and so he's still got a long track. But yeah, he looks like his team's looking actually pretty good. Like trending way better than my team. Like I've actually lost complete hope. It's been bad, and now I'm looking at Vinny at 8, and I'm starting to like see the reality. Come in. It's pretty tough to deal with. No,
Wait a second, Steve. You lost hope, so maybe I was right with 2 or 3 pods ago when I said this was the highest you're going to be.
Oh man.
We'll have to do a fact check on that. See if you ever got any higher.
All right. Well, we'll see. We'll see. I'll make a trade somehow in the next few days. Ruin my team some more.
All right.
The final last hope.
Next up, I did not have time to update Mark's graphic or team name, but
Incredible.
This is Commissioner Vinny. I still think this might have been one of the best graphics anyway, so might as well keep it in terms of the 0-16, Vinny's father. Mark moved up a lot this week. You might say 1 win. Is that really enough to move up 3 spots? Fact of the matter is, like, Mark is still middle of the pack scoring wise. He's the second highest scoring team in the crappy division. A 1-5 start. He's probably not going to make it to the playoffs, but I think he is more middle of the pack team and probably ends up passing quite a few of the teams in kind of that crappy division there.
Terrible power ranking here. This guy 1-5. He's got 1 fucking win. Drop this bitch back. Don't even give him hope.
Agree.
Don't give him hope.
I agree with Steve here. As much as I like the dog Steve, Steve's team is a million times better than Mark's team. Mark's team is going nowhere but further down.
I mean, then how does Mark's team outscore him on a weekly basis?
He has 1 big week. I think he had like 1 or 2 big weeks of scoring like a ton of points. That's where he got his wins. And I'm just joking. I don't really know, but 1-5 is rough. Like, you're for sure not making the playoffs at 1-5.
No, yeah, Mark's probably in one of the favorite positions he's ever been in, which is not making playoffs, and he can just start to ruin everyone else's season.
Oh, that's funny.
Next up, we have Vengeance of the John. I think there's a typo on this one. So they actually moved down a spot. They finally moved up to 6 last week. Now they're back to 7, which is where they've been. Or wait, no, Mark 7. Oh, no. They moved up to 5 last week. Now they're 6. So they moved back a bit, and they are 2-4. I still think there's a lot of talent on this team. They're another one that hasn't had a lot of good luck, in my opinion. Maybe this is my own biases that I think this team is better than they are, but despite the bad record, I still think they're one of the better teams, or at least middle of the pack teams out there.
I know we'll get to it. I do believe they had a good team, but I cannot believe the trade that happened. I know it's a bye week. I guess maybe it's need a win this week, but I think that hurts the team a lot, getting rid of Chase. I think Chase is so huge. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, and they did start off as one of the best like wide receiver teams in the league, and then they gave me CD. Now they've traded away Chase, and it's like you don't really see the drastic improvements anywhere else on their team for giving up those pieces.
And I feel like that's something I've personally run into where it's like I have a lot of solid players, but I don't have a lot of boom players all the time, year in, year out. And what happens is I don't end up scoring a ton of points like to get me those for sure wins. So like the Chases and the CD Lambs are so big. And now they don't have any of that power. They don't have any real boom power. So, but who knows? You never know.
I disagree with that. Never would I see the day that defend a Johnny Alex team, but I actually still think they have a lot of firepower. I've been trying to get a couple of their firepower players for the last 3 or 4 weeks that are still on that team. So I do think it's a good team.
Who's their firepower? I'm curious now.
DJ Moore.
Dude, that's what. There's no way against the Broncos. He gets the Broncos, and then what's the other team he started off? I mean, like they have to have this like score 35 points in 1 half for.
I still also really like Waddle. I think Mike Evans is good. It's just they don't have a whole lot after that, but I still think they have a lot of really good wide receivers.
Okay.
And then just honestly, we have yet to go to another slide, but seeing this team here means that I might crack the top 5. Am I getting respect for the power rankings?
Bam!
Look at that, top 5. All right, take it away, Austin.
This one pained me because I really, really do not think that this is a good team at all. But again, you keep winning. This is like it pains me when I have to keep ranking Dan's team high. Like it's just it doesn't look good to me, but the wins somehow keep on coming. You also gave me a graphic that you asked for to have as your power rankings picture, which I also hate. I wouldn't have done it, but I just ran out of time to come up with a graphic to insult your own graphic.
I would have loved that.
So, yeah, I mean, you're moving up, but I still fully expect you to be at the back of the rankings at some point this year.
Yeah, that's fair.
You know,
But
seeing this has made me happy actually, because I just realized you're 3-3 and I'm 2-4, and if I somehow get a win, you get a loss, we have the same record, and this
Mhm.
gap that is between us closes like that. So you better
Yes,
be
but-
careful, because I'm
do you have
expecting. Well, go ahead.
But do you have a princess on your team, like Princess Thielen?
He's on bye. You're literally lost. He's
But
gone.
he's coming back to rule the division, to rule my kingdom.
to rule over Mark and all the other shitters in your division.
It is a very. I've never said I'm a good drafter, but this was a typical me move of just picking up a random waiver wire person and happens to be magical. I'm just happy about that.
You're coining your own phrases now. This is a typical me.
Yeah, it's a typical me move.
I love
Did it take any skill of drafting? Heck no. I'm a waiver wire demon, though.
All right. I think you've had enough fun at 5
Okay.
here. Okay.
Yes.
I was just
I'm
joking.
good.
All right. Next up is Dan.
I love how it's always circled. I love that.
This is also actually not an updated graphic. I don't know how many points against that he has now, but it's probably not much more than this number from 3 weeks ago anyways.
Exactly.
Dan is still 4-2. He is actually third in points for now. So again, we can't completely chalk it up to luck, but it's still a lot up to luck. I mean, he's got players that have just like shown up out of nowhere that no one expected this year. Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of this is another team like Paul said. I just don't know how they keep winning, and it pains me to keep them up in the rankings, but they do, so I have to.
You know it's a bad when they lose to my team.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Dan would be in such a bad spot if he didn't get Laporta. Like, Laporta
100%, yeah.
has made his team so much better, and it's such a late pick. It's actually crazy.
I love how we all dogged him for that pick, and that's the only pick that's keeping him relevant.
Did we all dog him for picking Laporta?
We did because he picked him pretty early, I feel like.
Oh, okay.
Are you sure you're not thinking about yourself with Michael Mayer? Because I remember that one.
Oh, well,
Michael-
that was a terrible trade. Hey, he
Michael
had a lot of points on waiver this week. I think he may have cracked 5.
5 targets.
Yeah, that was one of my proud moments.
Next up, we have Josh's team with a new team name of Left at the Altar by Austin. Josh still remains kind of top of the pack here. Yeah, I guess I don't really have too many notes on Josh. He just always kind of stays good week in and week out. Can't ever really rule him out, unfortunately.
Yeah, sadly, Josh might be taking a return to the top dog seat. See how long he stays there. But he's been very active in the trading center. The amount of trades I've seen come by, and he's getting really into it. He's really feeling his team right now.
Steve, have you gotten any quality trade offers though from him?
No, just like Jacoby Myers, for some reason, I don't know, he's trying to ship him off, and
Yeah.
I don't know. Nothing really quality.
So we all have gotten the same, just
Wow.
really
He's the new
reaching
Paul.
It's not about quality, it's about volume.
All right, now the classic Austin power ranking goes he's 2 and Luke's 1. All right.
I think so, yeah.
Because he never puts himself 1 ever.
Yep.
But Luke is
That's
5-1.
okay. I was 1 last week. Just
Ever. He's never done it.
I lost, so I obviously had to move down a spot. Luke won. Luke's 5-1. He had to move up a spot. I still think I'm a better team. It's supposed to be anonymous, but I'll let you in on a little secret. I ranked myself 1 in the coaches poll, but in the power rankings poll, when you do factor in just trending data, I think that I am falling down a spot after that loss. Still, the loss of A-Chain is a very big loss for my team. And honestly, trading away Marquise Brown is a big flex player that I've lost there as well. So still obviously one of the better teams in the league. Still the most points scored. But again, 2 losses here, a loss coming off the week. Had to drop myself a little bit.
And the biggest thing too is you're leading the division, even though it's a 3-way tie. The points for has you a pretty big advantage in your division. So the 1-2 this week are basically, in my opinion, they're both ones.
Yeah.
I would go the same with that. Yeah.
And then that brings us to Luke's team as number 1. Luke's 5-1. Chalk it up to being in the worst division, sure, possibly. But again, his team has been surprisingly good this year. We all knew his wide receivers were going to be good right off the bat, but he has been blessed with running backs that no one really thought were going to do anything this year, just totally outperforming themselves. So yeah, at this point, Luke is, I feel like pretty set in that number 1 spot in the power rankings.
Yeah, and Luke, I'm really scared of Luke's team. I actually think, if I had to pick someone who's going to win the whole thing this year, I'm picking Luke. Just because I think Tyreek Chase, with what he has, he still has Mahomes. He has A.J. Brown. He's A.J. Brown, Chase, and Tyreek. And, his running backs aren't terrible. I mean, Pacheco and...
Yeah, there's no and. That's it.
Yeah, it's just Pacheco.
Let's figure out the end. There's got to be some kind of end. Does he actually only have one?
Nope.
Well, he's 5-1, so
Pacheco.
he'll figure it out. He has Calvin Ridley. That's probably why he's trying to trade Calvin Ridley, trying to figure out all that.
His running back is what's his name? Tyreek Hill Part 2. It's just he's gonna roll over and also
play. He doesn't even need another running back, dude. Dude, AJ Brown, Chase, and Reek, it's over. He just won this year. It's done.
We'll see. I don't know. It's definitely a bold move to just literally say, that trade to me was literally I do not care if I have to start a waiver wire running back in my RB2 position. I think that my wide receivers are good enough. It's a bold move, and we'll see how it plays out. But I don't think any team, no matter how good they are, is ever going to win by basically starting 8 players.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like receivers this year, with the way running backs are just dying everywhere, and he's got. I know Jetty's out, so Chase and Reek are the 2 best you could have. I mean, Diggs could maybe. I don't know. I think those are the 2 best right there.
What'll be interesting
AJ Brown
is
huge boom potential.
Yeah. What'll be interesting is as the weather gets colder, are the team's going to still throw the ball around as much? Because right now the weather's been great, and receivers are king. But as we transition to more colder weather, is that going to take effect? Now, Tyreek Hill, I don't know how many games he plays in cold weather, but
yeah,
Chase will definitely play cold weather games.
The NFL, they always throw. I feel like no matter what the temperature is, there's a lot of yards being thrown.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like half the northern teams have domes anyway, so.
Yeah.
All right, and then last slide here is just the comparison of the power rankings to the coaches poll. People are definitely getting a little bolder with the coaches poll. I saw a lot more variance in rankings here, but it all mostly evens out in the end. Weren't too many big adjustments. A couple things that I thought were interesting. One was that Josh is ranked number 2 by way of average, but he actually didn't have a single vote for him to be number 1, whereas both Dan and I did. Also interesting is that we have the actual first tie within the coaches poll between Mark and Steve.
Dang. Tied at the back.
Woo! Above Vinny.
True. Vinny is still left in the dirt. But Vinny's team is clearly better than me and Mark's right now. Definitely hotter. So he got hoed in the coaching poll. But all right, yeah. So we're gonna move on to. I think we got a few questions. A question segment here.
Yeah, let's do that.
And then I have a little segment I want to get to. I'm not sure when we're gonna do it. But kind of like a mystery player. I'm just gonna have some position ranks and all the stats. Bring out some players. I want you guys to guess, and then we'll say who they are. And there's also just some interesting things I want to pull off of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we'll get into this. So this is kind of an interesting question. So you know how you do the draft analysis every year after the draft, right?
Yep.
You go and you do a draft analysis. Who is your favorite? Because you go so in depth on these, and they're so hilarious. Do you have a favorite person to look at their draft and see what's happened? How am I gonna do some comedic thing here? Who is your favorite person you're excited to get into a review after the draft?
So I feel like I don't have a specific person that I expect. I actually think that I do. I try to really say I don't think anyone's going to be bad. I want to look at everyone objectively, but it's almost always either Paul or Dan.
I know you love ripping on Dan's team. Do you think it's you had to pick one, Paul or Dan? Which one do you look forward to looking at and ripping on? Because I would say both you rip on. That's for sure. They both get really ripped.
I guess in that context, I'd probably go Dan because like everyone expects it from Paul, whereas like Dan, he like somehow is good at the end of the year, so like everyone like doesn't think of him as a bad player, but just his draft choices are questionable at best most times.
Yeah, he's gotten better. Like he doesn't just draft old heads. Like he drafted some younger players I wasn't expecting. But yeah, question number 2. If it went to the playoffs right now, it would be obviously all the 4 and 2s. So it'd be you, Josh, Dan, and Luke. If it went to the playoffs right now, who would you least want to play?
Least want to play would probably be Luke.
Luke?
Yeah.
Okay. And so you are scared of Luke's team. So like, what is your opinion on that trade then? Because the trade, what was the trade? It was Jamar Chase for Swift, and who was the other player? Who was the package player with Swift?
I'll pull it up here in a sec.
I can. All right. Geez, there's been so many transactions.
I know.
Okay. Oh, it was a lot bigger than I thought. Okay. It was Chase, Jalen Warren, Evan Ingram for Damian Pierce, Swift, and Cortland Sutton. So what's your full opinion, everybody actually, on this trade? Because this is a pretty big trade. Pierce, Swift, Sutton for Chase, Ingram, Warren. Warren, Ingram are like whatever pieces. Pierce and Swift are obviously good. Sutton, nothing special, just a throw-in player. Let's see, we got Swift as the number 7, and Pierce is the 26th. I don't know.
So my take on it is that I literally think it's worse for both teams. Like makes both teams worse than they were. I think it makes Luke's team worse because again, he loses out on so he lost out on Swift, right? So he lost out on, let's say, a 15 point per game running back to gain, let's say, a 25 point per game wide receiver. So he like, or let's say it's like even. Let's say 15 to 20 points for Swift, 20 to 25 points for Chase. Like it's very negligible, but it's bigger boom and like less safe. It brings his floor down, but brings his ceiling up. And then I think for Johnny's team, he lost one of his best players. So like to me, it's like it got rid of the safety on Luke's team and it got rid of the boom potential on Johnny's team.
What's your thoughts, Paul?
For me, I think Alex and Johnny totally won that trade. Just simply for the fact of just positions. You look now at Johnny's team, he no longer had issues at running back, and he no longer really had issues at wide receiver. Cortland Sutton is a fluff piece where it might be good, might be bad. But when you look at Luke's team, a team already really short on running backs, when his running back probably one was DeAndre Swift, maybe Pacheco. You could say Pacheco was one, but his 2 running back, and then Damian Pierce, who granted has been trending down, but he has really nobody able to start, and you can only start 3 wide receivers each week, so that's going to be tough. It's going to be helpful for him during bye weeks, but I just don't like the way the positions line up.
I don't know, I just think this is such a perfect trade for Luke. I don't know why. Like I know you guys are talking about his downside, but he's 5-1. He has trade capital to go get a running back, and still have dogs for receivers. Plus, he's getting rid of Chase's bye, so you just have to get through this week or whatever. And then Swift and Pierce, yeah, they're solid. Swift's been good, but like if I had to say between Chase, Swift, and Pierce, because that's the core of the trade right there, it is very plausible that somehow Swift and Pierce start to fall off due to, I don't know, maybe Philadelphia starts struggling to run the ball, or Houston starts. Jamar Chase will only decrease in points if he gets injured. Like that's the only way. Like he will always be good. And like he'll find a running back, but like the floor thing with running backs where it's like, oh well, the running backs have a bigger floor and receivers have bigger boom. I just like don't believe in that anymore. I think that's like completely. I actually think receivers actually just have bigger boom and floor. I think like especially when you have a Chase. When you have one of these top 15, because they're so deep, when you have one of these top 15 receivers, I feel like the floor is insane and the boom's insane. I actually think like fantasy is just turning to receivers. Like I think it's just you still need running backs if you have the McCaffreys, but it's just like percentage wise, it's so much harder to hit. But I don't know. I just think Chase, Tyreek, like AJ Brown, like I don't know. I'm actually kind of like I don't know how I can ever beat that juggernaut. Like that's 100 points probably. I've been saying it so much, but it's like 100 freaking points, 3 players. But I don't know.
Or it could
Maybe I'm
be just
overstating it. But
the thing is though, all four of those guys, you can easily not have a boom week. Now Tyreek, you can't really say that he only had 2 weeks where he had under 15 or 15 and under. But you look at the points per game for all these other guys that he has, and it's very reachable. Chase has had one really big boom week, one okay week at with 26. Everything else has been pretty pedestrian.
no, but Chase started bad when Cincinnati was struggling, and now Cincinnati looks good. Burrows looks good. Even in that game, he had like 16 points, dude. He looks so good. I mean, I'm telling you, he's gonna be an over 20 point a game guy like every week from here on out.
I guess for me, I'm just not willing to bet all my money on one arguably might say streaky players. But what's your thought, Austin?
I guess time will tell.
Honestly, my mind might have just been changed mid pod here as I'm going through this because so I was just looking at Jamar Chase. You said 26 points. That's mid. 26 points is a great week. If any of my players are scoring 26 points, I'm very happy about it. And then you said he had a couple not good weeks. There's still like 10-point weeks. Like there's
Yeah.
And those were terrible weeks. Like
yeah.
it's just the way it goes. I feel like with receivers now. But all right. But yeah. So that on that trade. Sorry, let me pull this up here. Oh well, we kind of know from the power rankings here. But I was gonna say out of Vinny, Steve, Johnny, Mark, who's getting last? Who's getting last? Because out of those four, obviously it could switch. There could be other guys, but in the running, it's me, Vince, Johnny, Mark. Yeah. So if you had to put your money on one, who's your money going on? I'll start. Obviously, I can't say myself. I'm just gonna stick with Mark. I think the record 1-5. I think he's still gonna struggle. He's still Mark. He still plays the wrong players. Like his team looks good, plays the wrong players. My money's still on Mark.
I would have to go Vince on that one, unfortunately. I just think I was going through it, and again I said can be saved by CMC and Purdy. Those aren't generally the players you want saving your team. CMC maybe, Purdy, no. There's just really not much else on that team, and I don't. He's another one that you tend to root for, league commissioner, but so I don't want to see him in last. But I think might be in the stars for him this year.
I would tend to agree with that because CMC is amazing when healthy. I'm basically copying what you said, Austin, but when he's questionable every other week, that's a little scary. And then Brock Purdy, as we saw last week, is only good when he had his Pro Bowlers all healthy.
Yeah, he's no Goff, that's for sure.
No.
And then, I mean, I didn't really have the trades put together, so this question's kind of tough. But off the top of your head, what do you think's been the worst trade this year? Like the trade where it was eh? I know there's been a ton. I wish I could have something that would. Oh, trade it. Okay, I actually have all the trades up here. Maybe I can just.
Yeah, see if you can just share it.
Wait, no, this is only showing October 11th. Maybe this is not doing it correctly. I don't know. That one's going to be kind of tough, but
I think I got it actually. Let me share here.
Okay, because mine only went back to October 11th.
All right.
I'm
There have been a lot of trades this year. I would say so. There's going to be a lot, but kind of slowly scroll through and then shout one out if.
I did not like the Raheem Mostert Poku trade. I thought Josh totally took advantage of that one there.
Yeah, I agree on that.
that Josh
We'll
took
see.
advantage getting Mostert.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Like both players are. It's such a weird trade because like a Kane is so freaking good. A Chain or whatever you say his name. He's taking over the spot as soon as he comes back. And like Puka, I don't know. I mean, Puka's gonna get points. I think Puka's floor is pretty good. I don't really know. It's just a weird trade.
I don't know. Like A-Chain he's too small to be a bell cow back, so Mostert's gonna be getting points throughout the entire season. Like he's probably not gonna be the number one running back like he is right now, but he's still gonna be getting points.
Yeah, but I heard a stat. I'm sure everybody's heard it. The Dolphins and the teams they've played and they've won. I don't know about this last week, but there's like the records are 5-23 or
Yeah.
something like that. Like they're terrible. So when they play
Mhm.
against these good teams, they will not be able to run the ball as much. So like I still think Mostert's kind of like a fake good player.
That's
Hmm.
fair.
Yeah, I don't know. Like there's been a lot of trades. They have all felt pretty fair. I'm just gonna say the most recent one, the Chase one's for me probably, just because I just think that makes Luke a juggernaut. But I've already been talking about that trade forever, so I'll put that one away.
So do you think this is the most trades that we've had in a year, you think?
It might be. I don't
I'd say
know.
we're on pace for it, yeah.
Totally forgot about that Anthony Richardson trade for Mostert.
I don't even know if I knew that this existed.
I don't think I did either.
Well, I remember saying that someone has played. Oh, well, Austin has played Mostert twice in 4 weeks, and he hasn't played the same team. So Dan had Mostert, and then he must have taken Richardson, right? Doesn't Dan have Richardson now, or is that am I wrong? I don't even know.
Also, I've seen Ramondre just passed around in this league.
Yeah, my son
I'm
has
curious.
no home.
I'm curious. I got to check now. How many trades has he been in?
I don't know. So what do you guys think? You got any opinions on what do you think the worst trade is, or the trade you just didn't like the most? Because most of them are pretty fair.
Well, I mean, I'm again like kind of flabbergasted by this trade here. This actually took place in our league, which has to be the biggest. This Anthony Richardson Raheem Mostert trade. That's actually insane.
That is
Yeah.
insane. I think that was when it was really early, right? So that was when Anthony Richardson was running in like every touchdown, and people probably like thought
But
he's
he
gonna be a
played
dog.
like 2 total games, I feel like, this year. Maybe even
That's
3.
probably when the
Not
trade
many.
happened.
Yeah. That's crazy.
But I mean,
Position
even
rank.
then, like Mostert would have already had a 13 and a 25-point game.
Yeah.
He traded and then hit 45. Wow, that is pretty
That's
mind blowing.
34.
That
Wow.
actually just might be the worst trade there's ever been.
Yeah.
And then Josh still ends up getting him back anyways.
I know. Oh, that's actually hilarious. He comes right back home. But all right, so I think we can do my little segment thing next, and then we can kind of just get into the previous week and then
Okay.
the next week and just look over that and just start talking fantasy. I gotta make sure I didn't. Okay. So basically, I'm gonna try to pull up the players here so they can see them after the point, so everyone can obviously get in on this guessing game. But I'm just gonna go over players, and just so you know, it's 6 players total. There is a player from each of our teams. Okay.
Okay.
So if you guys know your position ranks on your team, you're gonna know this. But I didn't pick like all the best players, so we're just gonna guess, and I'll have all this. I'll have a decent amount of stats of like games played, touchdowns, all that stuff. All right, but the first one I'll start with is it's a receiver. Okay, and this is all receivers and running backs. I just did receivers and running backs. All right, so it's
Okay.
position rank 7, 42 receptions, 2 TDs, 6 games played. So it's played every game, and a 20.2 average, and it's a receiver. Position rank 7.
Wait, and sorry, all of these are on one of the three of our teams?
No. There are three. I have 6 of them, and 3 of
Okay.
these players are on each of our team. So there's 3 players from each. So that
What
is
division does this player play for? NFC or AFC?
he's NFC.
Okay. 6 games, 22 points.
Is it Amonra?
Is that your guess? Okay, that's your guess.
Yeah.
Paul?
I'm going to go.
I had a feeling
No,
that would
not
be
that
hard to
guy.
guess. Was my
I'm going to guess CD.
CD. No, so it's AJ Brown. So I'm
Oh,
just
wow.
picking random players. I actually didn't expect him to be that high. I thought he wasn't playing that well, but I know he had a few huge games. But that was just someone I picked out. Only 2 touchdowns. The thing that's actually kind of crazy when you look through a lot of these players, just not getting touchdowns.
Yeah.
But all right, so the next one. Position rank 21. It is a running back. So it's 21, kind of back end. It's been 6 games played. Average of 10.6 points. So just this like running back, middle of the road. It's played every game, and it's 15 receptions. And I forgot to get the touchdown, so I just pulled him up here. And 2 touchdowns. If you guys need any other stat, like I can repeat the stats as much as you guys need.
Can we each ask one question
Sure.
to narrow it down?
I like that. One question.
What division? AFC or NFC?
It's AFC.
AFC, okay.
Is this one of the ones on one of our teams?
Okay. Yes. So
Is it Ramondre?
Okay, that's your guess, Paul.
Zeke. I think it's Zeke, actually.
No way, it's Zeke. Yeah, it's my son. It's Ramondre. I was wondering if you get him 15 receptions. I think he's had decent, actually a lot more targets. He hasn't been able to catch.
What position rank was he again?
21.
21.
21, okay.
All right, and then into the next is a receiver. Position rank 23. So very similar. But for the 2 rank loss, you get 13.2 average points, 35 receptions, only 1 TD, and all games played, 6 games played. Paul, what's your question? Okay, it's AFC.
AFC? What is the position rank again?
23.
Okay, I think I know who it is.
Okay. All right, that probably gives Austin a hint of the direction of where. So we'll let Paul guess last here since he thinks he knows. Austin, do you have any shots in the dark at this or any questions to help you narrow it down?
Let's see, AFC. What was the touchdowns again?
1 single touchdown. I can give another hint if you want.
What is the primary color of their jerseys?
His height is below 5'11".
Devonta Smith.
Okay.
Or no, he's NFC. Damn it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that may have messed up my thing now. What is the position rank again?
23.
Oh, no.
So
how many touchdowns?
1 touchdown.
Oh, I know exactly who this is.
Yeah. Below 5'11". Let's see. What else can I do? More of a running team.
If you're going on a date, would you get chocolates?
Paul's just like,
no. Paul, you can just. We'll give this one to Paul. What do you got?
It's Zay Flowers.
Zay Flowers, yeah. The 1 touchdown was what was stumping me. I'm like, oh,
now,
what is
next
that?
2 I want to do are kind of interesting. It's just kind of interesting to see. So we'll kind of do this quick here. But running back, position rank 12, which is one of the better running backs. All games played, 6. 3 touchdowns. Average points a game is 14.5. 11 receptions. And has had only 1 game over 100 yards. But position rank 12. And I just want to show a correlation in these last 2. But it is an AFC team, and a very, very hard run first team. Any guesses?
Position rank again?
12.
12. And yards per game?
Yards per game, I'm not sure. It's probably around like 80.
Okay.
Above 6'2".
Oh.
King Henry.
It's King Henry. So
Okay.
his average points, he's position ranked 12, and his average points right now are 14.5. Then we got another guy here. Position ranked 12, receiver. Right? So this is kind of something I wanted to look at. 38 receptions, 3 TDs, same amount of TDs as the running back. 5 games played. So didn't play a 6th game, but it's the averages is kind of all I'm looking at. Average is 20.1 points a game. NFC. Dog. A dog. Any guesses? Any guesses from the crowd? Any hand?
Is this Amon-Ra?
It's Amon-Ra.
I
So
was gonna want to guess the same guy twice, but I felt like that was it.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting that they're both position ranked 12. And we know that receivers score more, but 14.5 and over 20. Like the difference is 5.5, almost 6 points. It's pretty crazy. I don't know.
So maybe something, Steve, you and I should do for next pod or something is kind of like take the top 100 players in both positions, or maybe 100 is a little bit too much. Maybe top 50, and then just average the points out from there. Because we get a very quick answer. Because maybe the drop off is really bad after 25 or something like that.
Well, I do have the drop off. So Pittman's ranked 14.
Okay.
And Amon-Ra's 12, right? So the drop off from Pittman to Amon-Ra is 14.8 points to 20. So there is a big drop off actually, but it's just that
is the rankings based off of average or based off of total points?
I think the rankings off of total. It's off of total. Has he played all 6? Yeah, okay. Pittman's played all 6, so that's why. That's why the ranking's that high. But yeah, but there is actually a huge, and I know running backs have been injured a ton, but there's a huge discrepancy in the amount of points running. Like you have like 20 receivers that'll typically get over 17, 18 points, and it's really only about like to get that same number of running backs, it's like 7. Top 7 to top 18-ish or something like that. So there is a lot more receivers. And I've been saying that a lot lately, but it's also something like I've always been a running back first guy. A lot of these stats like kind of make me think like you have better odds of winning if you actually just go receiver more often and running back later. But I don't know. That's obviously a really tough thing to do, to figure out.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I don't know. Stats don't lie, I guess.
They don't.
But all right, so Paul.
Yeah. All right. So do we want to look at this current week or do we want to look at last week real quick?
Let's look at last week really quick. We'll let you take over the screen.
Yep. Alrighty, here. Let's pop in there. I'm gonna move this over here. All right, and I am sharing the screen now. All right.
All right.
So
first game, big game from Paul here.
What I eked out.
Finally took down Dan a little bit, which was nice because, Dan would have been head again and probably would have been like rank 1 if he would have won this game. But yeah, dude, what are you guys' thoughts about Breece Hall? Is Breece Hall a legit fantasy? Like, is he going to actually end up being like a legit player for them?
I mean, it's weird, right? Like he was supposed to be. He was drafted like he was.
Yeah.
And then it's like when Aaron Rodgers went down, it's like Breece Hall took a big hit, but honestly, he shouldn't. So I could see Breece being sustainable, honestly.
Well, and the reason I kind of bring that up is because they've all of a sudden been playing teams a lot closer. They just beat Philadelphia. Obviously, they beat the Broncos. And Breece Hall's had 2 incredible games. So it's like, is he a starter or a trap? Like, is he someone you're going to start and then it's going to lose games? I think it's a great sign for Dan having any player that's showing life. Like, especially having Eckler and Walker now. But
yeah.
But yeah, so Paul with a big win. Paul, what is your opinion on what you need to win? Like,
What do you mean by that
do
question?
you need
Like, how
Thielen
many
to get
wins
30
do
points? Do you need Thielen to get 30 points for you to win? Because like
I either need
Bijan has been
Thielen?
very depressing. I feel like.
I wouldn't say depressing. He's just been a rookie. You have your ups and downs. He's the 8th running back, averaging 15 points a game. Has had some games, but the big thing you're not seeing right now is that touchdown column. All we need for everything to change for Bijan and really my team is for him and Josh Jacobs to just get into the end zone. So we shall see. But having Thielen get 25 plus each week is definitely going to help me. Zay Flowers, another guy who is just needing to get into the end zone.
Okay.
I guess one thing I'm proud to see with this matchup, it proves I can not only get 100 points, but I can get 120 points. 2 weeks in a row over 100.
Shot at Austin here.
We're making progress.
Austin, is there any way? What does Paul have to do for you to give any shred of belief in his team? What does his team have to do?
I mean, he just has to, like, it has to not look fluky. Like, the fact that you won because of an Adam Thielen 30-point game is just, that's a fluke. It doesn't matter that he does it like week in and week out. You have studs on your team, Bijan and Josh Jacobs.
Yeah.
That's it. But those have to be the guys that carry you. It can't be them getting 10 points, then getting these fluke performances.
I mean, a wide receiver averaging 21 points, third in the whole NFL. I mean, I don't think it's that fluky.
Yeah, Thielen has been a beast. But I will say,
the
Paul,
one issue I do have is tight end. Tight end has been the worst position for me all year.
Mm-hmm. I just wish you had a running back you could actually give me that like means anything.
I could give you the number 5 running back in the league.
I saw
Zach
that,
Moss.
but like, talk about a dude
17
trending
points.
down, dude.
You're right. Running backs who get 17 points, they're trending down.
Well, they are. Sadly, Taylor's here. But one thing that's kind of funny is you have Bijan, who's position rank 8. Do you know who's position rank 10 in the running backs?
I think Josh Jacobs, right?
No, it's Pacheco.
Ooh,
Man, you
yeah, that
traded
kind of
away.
hurts. Yes, but what is
so
Tua?
Bijan's as good as Pacheco, the guy you said was trash.
Yes, I thought he was trash, but I did get Tua. He's been a great stop holder. When we get to next couple of weeks looking at things, I have some exciting news that I'll.
All right, but we can kind of zoom through these. I just want to have some fun there.
All right, Alex and Josh. Josh did the Josh thing and just kind of dominated again.
I think it's been actually like there hasn't. I think last week was a lot of people having bad weeks. I don't think there was a lot of like good big battles. Like it's a pretty wouldn't be surprising if Josh lost this to somebody, but a lot of people hovering around that 100-point mark, including me. I wish I would have hit that.
I have a question for you, Steve. What are your thoughts on Jacoby Myers?
I don't know.
The Devontae Adams owner.
I mean, they love him. It's actually infuriating to watch because they have such similar numbers and similar hair. So like, it's so hard to tell who's catching the ball. I'm like, oh yeah, nope, the wrong freaking dreads, dude. But yeah, Myers looks good. I think Adams is good too. I don't know what the hell happened last week. It's concerning, for sure. But
I wouldn't be too concerned. Like, I think Adams is probably drawing a lot of coverage. I think this is why Josh has been trying to trade Jacoby Myers, is because he's really, really hot right now, but I don't think this is going to be sustainable. He's not the best wide receiver on that team.
No, not at all. And the thing is, there was some Monday night I was watching where Devontae could have gotten like a big game, and they were showing all the open routes he was on that Garoppolo missed. I was like, well, that's actually a good sign. I like that at least.
Yeah. Yeah. Anything else on this game? Not a lot of stuff happening in the running back situation here, so that trade this week really helped him out getting a running back.
Miles Sanders and Akers they're droppable. I feel like almost now. Like
yeah.
Please. But no, not much else to say.
Yeah. Steve?
Oh man, talk about a performance. I knew this game was over probably at like 2:00 on Sunday. I didn't open up fantasy for the rest of the day. I was like, you know what? Not gonna look. I know it's bad. I know it's ugly. I know it's over. Plus the injury stuff. But yeah, not much to say. He's got Pacheco. He's too good. Can't beat him.
Yeah. Well, also this loss wasn't completely all your fault. You did not expect Montgomery just to die. You didn't expect George Kittle to run away in Cleveland. And Devontae Adams, again, we don't expect him to get 4 points each week.
Did I even
So-
have the possible points to win this? So 14. I don't think I did.
No, you were 10 points down. You were projected 126, and he was projected
No, I meant like if I started the right
136.
players.
Oh,
I
I
don't
don't
think I
know.
had because I had
No, it
Amari.
doesn't look like.
Yeah, I don't think so. Like if I had to like bench Montgomery or some dumb crap.
No, if you would have benched Montgomery, you would have put Drake London in. That would have gotten you up to. So
Oh
you need to
yeah.
find 20 points. With Kyle Pitts in,
13 more.
Yeah.
and then you could
I'm still
put.
short.
No, you could put Amari Cooper then in for Devontae Adams. So you take out Adams, Kittle, and Montgomery,
Yep.
and you put in Cooper,
Yeah.
Pitts,
And that's
and
the obvious start, so that's on you.
Yeah.
Should have known.
So one might say you pulled a mark.
Yeah, I think I did.
But yeah, no, Luke showed up again. 120, kind of a down week for the way he's been trending lately. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah. I mean, that's just what I feel like this is the story this week. Not any
Yeah.
super flashy scores. Just
No.
just some bad ones. Some pretty bad ones. And
Vinny and Paul. Vinny gets a second win here.
is McCaffrey? Is he playing? Is he injured? I don't. There's some like injury. I don't know.
It's a
I think
Monday night game, and he's questionable.
It doesn't sound like he's playing to me, from what I've heard.
Okay. Because it looks
But
like
I believe Vinny picked up the handcuff there in Elijah Mitchell, if I remember right.
I don't think the handicap is him. Isn't it Ben Mason? Because Mitchell got no touches on Sunday. I think Ben Mason had all of them.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I mean, regardless, Vinny had to sacrifice his best player to get a win, and yeah, I don't know. I think Garrett Wilson might be trending up though.
Yeah.
Is
No, I
Kyron-
definitely think so.
Oh yeah, Kyron had a big week too.
He's injured though, but he'll be back next week.
And the funny thing is, Madison keeps getting the touches. Like, is Cam Akers even a thing? Just as every team hate him. Everywhere he
think
goes,
so.
teams hate him. Oh, call's
think
about
so,
to
yeah.
end, boys.
All right. Why don't we join the other call real quick, and then we'll finish up talking about this game.
All right, cool. Okay, just got to switch it over. All right. We're getting back to it here. I think we're going to be wrapping this up pretty quick, though.
Alrighty, and you're back.
All right, there we go. I think we should kind of speed through these other things, and then we can
Yeah, for sure.
enjoy the game. I think we've...
Yeah, and just talk about this coming week here.
All right.
Alrighty. So,
We're back. Share screen. Let's get back to that.
alrighty. So, yeah, pretty
Jeez.
straightforward. Nice win by Vinny here. One thing before we move on, unless you guys had something else after this. T. Higgins, what did you guys thought on him? I've been trying to get him in a trade, and I'm just very interested in what you guys think his value is. He had one huge monster week, and then everything else is just nothing.
So I assume that means that the person who has him is holding him at a higher value than he probably should be, because I don't think his value is that high.
Okay.
I mean, he could. I'm not sure.
I'm just curious. Like, this is not I've not even proposed anything this week yet to Vinny, but him and I have been talking back and forth. So I'm curious on what you guys think. Do you value him as a wide receiver 3, or is he even lower than that?
I think that, so I've heard he's been dealing with an injury so far.
Mhm.
So I think that you could probably get him from a desperate owner, maybe a 2-4 league commissioner, maybe for a low price, and then he might turn it on at the end of the season. So it wouldn't be a bad player to pursue, in my opinion.
Okay, that's encouraging. Thank you. Do you guys have anything else to say about this game?
No, I mean, it's just Paul's sad demise here. I mean, he had to trade for Rakhad White. I mean, it's terrible when you got to trade for a player of that shit. But no, you'd probably love to see him getting 6 points. Although I was gonna say
I,
Lions.
I think it's the Lions. So like, I actually felt bad because that makes me look like I totally stole a player from him. But I think it's just because he played the Lions.
That's true. The Lions run D
How
is
often do
actually
we ever
incredible.
say that? That
It is wild. I was actually thinking about how I feel like there's so many good defenses in the NFL, but maybe it's just because the Lions have a good D, and I can't wrap my head around them having a good defense right now.
yeah.
And so it just feels like there's so many good Ds, but I don't know.
So Austin, what was the thing of being nice to Mark here? I kind of wanted to see him go 0 and whatever it's going to be.
This is just you coined typical Paul earlier. This is typical Austin. Like I just I have a good start and then I lose to the worst team in the league. That's like not even a question. And it's not even like it was a bad performance. Like 130 points. I think Mark put up this. It was either the highest or the second highest points out of every team this week. So like it's just luck, you know.
Yeah, it was the highest points. Yeah. What can you do against that?
He just had a really solid game. Like everyone on his team got over 10 points besides kicker,
Yeah.
and then obviously
Yeah.
the big boomers to bring him over. But yeah, I don't even know if I've sniffed a 130-point week, dude. I feel like
Yeah.
it's been rough over here. But yeah, so that was the highest scoring matchup. That's the closest matchup of this week. So 138 was the highest score, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's crazy.
So Mark not only winning, he's scoring the most in the
Yeah.
week.
I mean, like I pointed out, and you guys were still hating on his team earlier, but he's like 6th in points over the entire season.
Okay.
True.
And
Very
he's
true.
last in wins, I think. I don't know. You can double check on that, but all right. So is this up to this week now?
Yep, we're up to this
Oh
week. Let's
wow!
start with
So Dan gets to
Dan
go
and Mark.
right at Mark for the run up here.
I like that a lot, actually.
You would love a Mark. Hey, you've been talking up Mark's team. This is the
I know.
matchup right here.
Mark winning is a good thing, I think, for me. So
Austin, if you had to predict this, what are you predicting here?
I think Dan's probably going to win by a landslide here. This doesn't even look like Dan's team anymore with all these stud running backs on it now.
So looking at the matchup here, I think Mark wins on the Puka matchup. I think Puka, you're seeing the downtrend. I think Pittsburgh had a pretty good defense. I think it's going to come down to that. I actually think Brian Robinson's going to eat against the Giants. Jerome Ford, I don't know what to think about him. He's very inconsistent. I don't know. But I think Mark wins it, and I think he should take out Pickens and play Drake London. But that's just me.
Man, yeah, I'm leaning Dan. Because you know that the Hurts game's going to be a shootout probably. So I don't know. Dan's just got a lot of teams in pretty good matchups.
Yeah.
True.
Pretty good matchups, except for Pittman on Cleveland. Probably bench Cleveland. Yeah, just start Jameson. Just go Jameson. This is the week, Dan. Start Jameson. Believe you can afford it.
He
Would you
started
guys
him,
thought?
What'd you say?
he started him last week already, even when it didn't have the matchup.
Yeah.
Wait, when he scored a touchdown?
Yeah.
Dude,
Yes.
started over. Dude, Cleveland has the best D in the league, in my opinion. Cleveland's D is nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're very good.
I want to see Jameson starting on a team. Or Taylor. Oh, no, Taylor's against Cleveland. Never mind.
What's your guys' thought on Austin Eckler? What would be a good week for him, and what do you expect?
KC finally back after a 20-year injury. I mean, I would say over 20. I think he has to get over 20.
Okay. Because last week, how many did he get last week? He didn't get much last week.
Like,
He got 10 last week. Yeah.
Yeah. I hope he's dog shit for the rest of the year. I really do. Really do.
So you guys both have Dan winning, and then I think I have Mark winning, right?
Yeah, I have Dan winning.
Perfect. All right, let's go to this matchup here. Luke and Vinny. This will be interesting. Who points have already been scored?
Points been scored. Evan Ingram are the ports for Luke, which is actually
Okay.
huge for this early.
Yes.
Jeez. Starting Gibbs, huh? I guess Baltimore. This is tough. I mean, I'm going to go with Luke just because I don't know if, even though Luke has Zach Evans start. Actually, I'm going to go Vinny. I'm going to definitely go Vinny. Actually, I don't believe in this team this week.
I really want to pick Vinny. I just hate the Jameer Gibbs because do we even know if he's going to play this week?
No, I think he is.
He
Yeah.
is? Okay. All right, then
Gibbs
definitely Vinny.
Gibbs is one of the stronger picks on this. Like, there's no Monty, and we have a fully healthy Gibbs. I don't know how no one has expressed any concern about Josh Palmer and Vinny's starting lineup. That's more where
Palmer's
my
a dog.
concern comes
Dog.
from. But despite Palmer, I'm taking Vinny. I think San Francisco goes nuclear against Minnesota, and Vinny gets the win.
Isn't Mike Williams dead? Right? He's like a dead human.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's out for the year.
Palmer's him, bro. I think for Vinny to win, Palmer and Gibbs might have to both get over 20 points, and I think they both can.
I think
Okay.
this is Gibbs first touchdown, Gibbs first 20 plus point game.
Yeah, I'd love
Okay.
that. I'd also love
I like that
anything
too.
Jameson Williams. I'm
Yeah.
down for anything, JMO. But yeah, all right. So I'm gonna take a Vinny.
Okay, Vinny. I'm going Vinny as well.
Vinny.
Austin, you're going Vinny too? Yep. All right.
Come back of the commish. I love it.
All right.
Oh dear, this is gonna be brutal.
Oh no.
He's gonna beat your skull in, Paul.
I don't think so. I think I have a chance. Olave has already got 2 points. We'd love to see
He
that.
has terrible running back matchups.
Ooh, I like Mostert against Philly.
Oh,
New England. I love that.
Ew.
I actually really like it. Just I need to figure out what I'm doing in my flex. I have no idea. Do you guys have any suggestions?
Not whoever that is, probably.
It's a starter. I should just rename my team the Cardinals because I
You
have
probably
4
just go
Cardinals.
Jerry Judy, but
I would
the
no, I would probably start Moss over him.
Cleveland, dude.
The thing is,
I
it's
don't think you touch
Cleveland.
Cleveland. I think you just start Thielen. I think you just put him in the flex.
His upside isn't very good, but his floor is pretty consistent.
Yeah.
Paul, have you checked the waiver wires?
I have, and there's not a lot there.
Here, let me find a waiver wire that would actually be better than any of your players here.
I keep looking, and I hope that somebody drops somebody or something, and there's just nothing.
No, there's something there. KJ Osborne, no, that's terrible. Oh, dude, Jahan Dotson's actually, that's him.
The thing is, they put him at the holder now. He kind of asked for more care to touch the ball more, and the kind of just give an FU to him. They put him as the holder for the kickoffs and for the field goals. Yeah. So I don't know if I want to get him.
If they did that to like spite him, that's the greatest thing ever.
Because he wanted to touch the ball more, so they were like, "Okay, you can touch the ball more."
That's amazing. Yeah.
KJ Osborne might be somebody I might go for. It's just there's so many players on my team that I just don't want to drop.
Yeah.
There's quality.
I'm taking Josh by a million here.
Yeah. Probably. But I'm gonna be hopeful we're gonna keep up this trend. Let's get 2 wins in a row. I think somehow, some way we're gonna get points again. All right.
And then I haven't even set. I still need to get my lineup.
Yeah, can you give us a little insight on what you're going to do here? Because half your team is
Yeah.
on bye.
Yeah. So obviously the biggest thing is running back because I don't even think Craig Reynolds is going. So I'm obviously going to start the man I got on our Watson.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll probably start Amari if Watson's going to play. Duo that up. Metcalf probably has to come into the game. And so it'd be Metcalf, Devontae, and Amari Cooper. Then I might just have to trade some depth players for a running back or just pick a waiver wire running back and just hope it sticks.
Would you like Zach Moss?
The one thing is, do I start Pitts this week just because? No. You got to keep Kittle. Got to keep Kittle in. Zach Moss for who?
Pitts?
It's Cleveland, dude. I can't actually do it. I'm against Cleveland in every way. I'm done starting any players. I don't even care if it's Devontae Adams. Like, he's benched against Cleveland.
Steve had a no Cleveland clause.
No Cleveland rule. Yeah, I don't know. I'm picking John to win this one.
Yeah, this might be the biggest blowout of the week. Honestly, I think this is John.
Yeah.
Steve, I'm going to give you hope. I think you win. You're going to make a good trade with me before in the 11th hour. It's going to give you some good players that get you over the hump here. And
oh my God.
I don't know what to expect from Aaron Jones. I think Aaron Jones.
Amazing matchups too. He really does.
Aaron Jones, I don't think will be very good this week. And I really think Mark Andrews is going to.
That's the worst take ever. Don't give me.
He's going to.
Okay.
So no. Listen to this. Aaron Jones coming back from an injury. and he hasn't played in a while. Going to Denver, altitude. He won't be able to breathe after the first series.
I would
I'm
love if
telling
that
you.
happened. I
But
hope
no,
he
I
worries
think
for the rest of his life. No, I'm sorry. I don't know what. But
the interesting play here, he's playing the Lions defense and he has Mark Andrews. How's your thoughts and feelings on that?
I've done that a lot this year, and I don't think it's the way to go because every time Andrews gets a touchdown, you get fucked. Like I've had so
Yeah.
many scenarios where I'm like touchdown, and I'm like, how did I only get 5 points or like 4 points?
Yeah.
But
I don't know. If you have to do it for any position, I feel like tight end might be better than anything else. Like
that's true.
tight end is one touchdown is a good game for a tight end.
I'll definitely
True.
say I did the QB against the other defense. That's just not the play.
That's not fun. No.
Never the play.
But this will be an interesting game. But I have Steve actually. I think you'll pull it out, Steve.
Yeah, I got John. It's the second time I picked against myself this year. I was right the first time.
Well, maybe you don't want to be right this time. Austin,
I have
who do
a
you think?
lot of moves I still have to do before like this game's even set.
Is it all part of your traps?
What?
Is it all part of your trap that you're setting?
Maybe. I would never say that.
I got John in this one as well.
Alrighty. Last game of the week. Ready? Some points have been scored. Austin versus Paul. Austin, take it away.
ETN?
Yeah,
Did
it's me.
ETN score a touchdown already?
He did.
Nice.
Of course he did. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, after seeing that, I'm taking Paul. I'm taking Paul all the way. I'm on the Paul train because he started Kareem Hunt, dude. I gotta take Austin just because he started his running backs, dude. I can't take his 2 running backs right now. He's done all his trading for running backs, and those are the 2 he has. You know, like it's rough.
Rashid White and the dog.
I
Don't
think
you
I
disrespect
think
him.
I'd rather have my team than Paul's right now, and that's crazy for me to say right now.
Oh, goodness.
Dude, what happened? I thought he was the scariest team in the league for a bit. Dude, I think you have to trade Justin Jefferson to me just so no one else can have him. Dude, someone's gonna go for Jetty Jets. Like Paul's gonna lose this week. Someone's gonna go for Jetty, and then all of a sudden, like, dude, Luke's gonna get Jetty Jets. Dude, it's actually a good trade to do Jetty Jets for AJ Brown.
Yeah.
And then Luke just has Jamar Chase, Tyreek, and Jetty Jets.
The only thing he needs is Cooper Kupp.
Someone's going to get Paul at the exact right time when he's feeling so frustrated about his team, and he is going to trade away Jetty Jets, and it's going to just put the league on its head.
Yeah. Paul, if you're listening to us, please just don't trade with Josh. Don't give it to him.
Yes, please don't.
Need it.
Or Luke.
No, go Luke. I actually kind of want to see Luke. I think it's hilarious. I think that'd be hilarious. But all right, well, I think that's all we have for that. But Austin, what are your thoughts on the game in Baltimore, the Lions against Baltimore? Like, how confident do you feel in that game for us going on the road?
I think honestly, this is our game to lose, which is crazy to say, but like, I do think that we're the better team at this point. I think we match up pretty well against them. I'm expecting a win. I'll actually be disappointed if we don't pull it out.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like personally, we have typically struggled with running quarterbacks. I would love to see if we can actually keep one contained. But I'm actually more worried on the. I'm not even necessarily worried about our defense as much as our offense, only because I do think Baltimore has like some good players, and like Roquan Smith is actually a dog linebacker. He's probably one of the top 3 best linebackers in the league. And about like if he can, because I think he can cover Laporta. If he can actually cover Laporta, we can get some issues. But dude, if JMO can actually start like if Goff can hit JMO in stride, like I want to see it once. Hit him in stride. I think he's just so fast. Did you see when the ball he dropped that I was pissed about, where he was man to man with the guy and just stops on a dime and the dude flies 5-6 yards past? JMO actually looks so good. I'm so excited.
Also, when he was run blocking on that one play and like he wasn't even trying to keep up with the play, but he just like ran faster than every single other player just because like that's just how he operates.
Yeah. It's amazing. I'm so excited for him, especially since my dad, like, I've been talking to him about sports. He's always like, "This JMO guy's a bust. Like, he sucks." I'm like, Dad, he hasn't seen the field. Like, give him some time. But
I
I'm
bet
so
if
excited.
Chamo got a nice clean haircut, then I bet Doug would be a big fan.
He would love him though. If he was just white, I mean, if he got a haircut, no, I'm just joking. But no, yeah, he just
Do you know what
struggled.
the line for the game is?
Baltimore, I think 2.5, unless it's moved. But Baltimore has it. And also, dude, have you seen how people on like ESPN and NFL Network have been like ranking the lines? Like, everybody loves the Lions right now. If we beat
Yep.
Baltimore, we're gonna be like
Oh,
one
my.
on so many people's boards. It's gonna be amazing.
We're one on Stephen A. Smith's board.
I saw
I
that.
saw that.
I sent that to my brother Ryan. He's like, "That is ridiculous." He goes, "That's delusional." And I was like, "I actually think I think they could be the best team in the NFL." He's like,
Oh, because he's a Finns
Oh, yeah.
fan.
he's not a Finns fan. He likes the Lions, but he doesn't think they're a top. He thinks all the other typical teams are better right now. Still,
Mm.
he's not a true believer. But all right, well, I think that's it for the pod. Paul, you got anything else?
No,
Need to run
I'm
through?
just excited to see this next week come out, and believe it or not, I think the Lions again will win again this week, and we'll see what happens.
All right, any closing remarks, Austin, leader of the East?
No, go Lions, and expect a couple wins out of Tinna Chain.
Tin a chain? No, I actually think Tin might. If I had to pick one of the top 4 teams to fall, I'd actually pick yours because without a chain, you're nothing. You're nothing.
I got 4 more weeks without him. Then I'm back.
All right, so we'll give you 5 and 4 or 4 and 5. I don't know which one for those 3 weeks. I'll give you 5 and 4.
All right, that's all I need.
But all right,
Steve,
boys.
is this a must win for you?
Huh?
Is this
Yeah,
a must
it's
win?
a must win. 100%.
Okay.
100% a must win. So if I lose this week, you'll never see me again.
Okay.
I'm just joking. I'll come still tell Austin his team is shit. I have no idea what to think about the top teams. I just think Luke's winning, and it's over.
Yeah.
But all right, boys, that is it for us. We're gonna keep this going. We're gonna keep the pod going. I know the 2-week thing happened, but we will continue on with the pod.
Exactly.
Especially we got the streaming thing going. We'll work on the slides, but whatever.
Yeah.
But all right, go
Those aren't
Lions! Huge fucking game. We'll see you all next week.
Adios.